Welcome back to Flow with Solaris, the show where we sit down with real humans behind transformational healing work. And today I'm super excited to be talking with Dr. Kimberly Flemke. Kimberly is a licensed marriage and family therapist with nearly 30 years of experience working outside of Philadelphia at Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania. She specializes in couple therapy, sex therapy, and trauma work, and she brings some really special things to the table. She blends traditional therapy with EMDR, tapping, and energy psychology to help people heal at a much deeper level. Her program is called Sacred Journeys for Transformation, and the name basically says everything about how she sees this work. Let's jump right in. So, take us back to the beginning. What pulled you into this work, and how did Sacred Journeys for Transformation, how did it come to be?
Yeah. I mean, if I go back to the beginning, I was an undergrad and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was originally pre-law, and then I wanted to switch to psychology, and then my friend was like, "You don't want to do that. You want to do family studies." And I was like, "Okay." So I sat in a couple of those classes and I was hooked. The first class I knew I loved it. And then in my, I don't know, senior year we had to read a book, The Family Crucible. And I was fascinated how therapists were able to track patterns in a family system. And it just lit a fire in me. And I was like, that is what I want to do. So I went and got my master's, my PhD. And then I became a professor for many years and I started training, the next generation of therapists. And I had a thought that couples need more information than what they have. It shouldn't just be beheld by us therapists. Like couples, when you get married, there's no manual for how to do this well, right? So I decided I wanted to make a program that would specifically be geared towards couples, helping them understand why they keep getting hooked in their conflicts so that they could heal those hooks and it will change the entire dynamic of the relationship.
It's so needed at this time. It's almost like you found the blueprint, like you found this
Yeah.
secret code, and it must have just unlocked so many things within you.
Can
Uh,
I add one more thing?
of
The
course.
funny thing was, I never set out to do this in my career path, and it was 2 years ago I got a download. I woke up out of a dead sleep, and the download was you have to start doing couple retreats. And I was like, what? And then I got a download for all the components, and then so it's been an evolution. So now it's an online program, and we will be moving to retreats next year.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so you describe intimate relationships as our greatest vehicle for personal growth, even when they're really difficult. So, can you unpack what that actually means for
Yeah,
any couples that are sitting out there watching or in your office?
yeah. So if you think about it, no one besides our intimate partner gets to see the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And like you said, I have always said your biggest vehicle for growth is your intimate relationship. It will put the fire in the pot, and you can either embrace it and learn from it, or you can reject it and become resentful and, possibly exit the relationship. So, the most important thing, this is the most fundamental principle I have integrated into this program, is that I believe we are all souls having a human experience. So, that then leads me to believe if you are with a partner, there is a soul contract behind that relationship. And that might only be for a reason, it could be for a season, or it could be for an entire lifetime. That's not for me to know, it's only for your soul to know. But regardless, your job is to learn everything you can to heal what you need to heal in that relationship so that you can continue to grow.
Mm. And there's a lot of therapists, they do what's called talk therapy, but your program is called Transforming Conflict into Connection Protocol.
Mhm.
And you use energy psychology techniques.
Mhm.
And that's so interesting to me. So, what is happening? And these are live calls, right? So, what is happening there that traditional talk therapy alone cannot reach?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not bashing my field. I love my field, and I have been one of those therapists for many, many years until I had this discovery that the work we're doing with couples generally stays on the surface. And I had this wake up call with a particular couple, that they were doing great work. They were really invested in therapy. So by the time they ended, I felt really good about them, having a great couple life. Only to discover 6 months later, they called and said, "Can we come back in?" And I was like, "Sure." So when they came back in, I was I was in disbelief that we were picking up with the same argument and the same resentment. And that was my wake up call, that I'm missing something, not them, me as the therapist. And so I really did a deep dive into like neurobiology, into attachment theory, like all the things that are the groundwork for who we are and how we relate in a relationship. And what I discovered is that we hold unconscious beliefs that most of us are not aware of. And when you have a conflict that keeps repeating in your relationship, that is definitely your trigger for an unconscious belief getting hooked. So, my program is designed to really help you explore those unconscious beliefs so that you can heal them. And then, if your partner, let's just say, does or says the same thing, your response is kind of neutral. And you're like, instead of the big explosive reactions you may have had in the past, or the stonewalling, the quiet ones, that distance. So, and what's funny is that, and I did not expect this, I've had now people go through my program as individuals, which I never thought about. And the results have been amazing because it only takes one person in a relationship to change the entire dynamic if you can heal your hook. So I've been really thrilled to see that outcome.
That's amazing. Yeah, and I feel like when it comes to beliefs, they're flexible and people need to realize that these things can change. And the idea
That's
that you
right.
can change a
That's
relationship with
right.
one person,
That's right.
that's so
What you just
empowering.
said is so correct because it is, we all hold these unconscious scripts that dictate how we react throughout our lives. So if you can understand it's just a script and scripts are made to be rewritten, then you can have the hope that you can change the way that you operate in the world by first healing those hooks.
That's why I love the owl medicine, right? Whenever I think of that animal, I'm like, oh, I'm the observer. I can actually
Yes.
take a higher perspective.
Yes, yes,
And
yes. I love that.
takes a lot of work to get to that
Yeah,
place. And
it
it's
does.
ongoing work, right?
That's right. That's right.
So for someone listening to this who feels stuck right now, either in their relationship or just even within themselves, what is the very first shift that you would invite them to consider?
I would say if you notice yourself getting hooked repeatedly, and it's usually around the same issue, maybe it's money, maybe it's how you parent, maybe whatever, just notice the pattern or the theme. I would encourage you to then sit with that and figure out how old you actually feel when you react in that argument. And more times than not, it's going to be one of those childhood years. And that is your first clue that you have a very young part inside holding this unconscious belief that needs to be healed. And that is really where the work begins, understanding that we all have all the parts, and some of our parts are more developed than others. And typically, the ones that are activated in those conflicts are the ones holding the unconscious scripts about how you feel about yourself. And just so I'm clear, some of those beliefs might be I'm unlovable, there's something wrong with me, I'm not good enough. They're the kind of unconscious scripts that run like a ticker tape in the back of our mind all the time.
Wow. This has been such a beautiful and honest conversation. So thank you so much for the work you do and just being so generous with your time and your knowledge today.
My pleasure.
And for everyone watching, Dr. Kimberly Flemke is based in Philadelphia and she also does work virtually. So wherever you're listening, she may be able to support you. So I'll drop her website in the description below. And if this conversation hits something for you, share it with somebody who needs to hear it. And that's how we'll continue to build this community. Thank you so much, Dr. Kimberly.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thanks for watching Flow with Solaris, and we will see you next time.